Hello, today is February 23rd, 2020. I'm using a new camera app, so hopefully everything will go well. Um, the updates. Certain things have gone well last couple of weeks, certain things haven't. I'm going to try and focus more on the positives than the negatives. As you can tell, I'm back in my truck up at Hobble Creek. And overall things actually happen very well. I've been trying to focus more and more on the positives. Most of you notice I haven't recorded a vlog in a couple of weeks, and that's for a variety of reasons. One of the things that I've noticed is, well, as you know, I like audiobooks, and I listen to them while I'm at work. And I've been trying to get through one of the fictions that I've been listening to. And as I've been going through that, it was a series. The series started going in a direction that, while not bad, is not one I particularly enjoy. It started getting more into political intrigue. It started off as more of an adventure. And quite frankly, I hate politics. And so I found myself, okay, let's skip to this chapter. Let's just grunt through this chapter. Let's this, that, and the other. And so I'm probably not going to continue that series. And so I finally got through that book this week. And then I started listening to one of my nonfictions that I had already bought. One of my, I guess, self-improvement books. And what I found really interesting is, while I was listening to that, like I said, I wasn't particularly enjoying this book. I just wanted to get through it. I should just stop listening. That's one of the things that I've learned is, we only have a short amount of time. We only have so much. And that sometimes it's best to just not complete something. And really, I should have done that with this book. Because as soon as I started listening to this other book, my motivation changed. And I started looking forward to doing things again. Like, all right, I need to get moving on my stuff. And it was a night and day difference. I mean, it was literally like flipping on a switch. And so I need to take that lesson and apply it in my life. It's something I knew before. I had kind of known that concept. It was really pointed out to me in the 4-Hour Workweek. I forget the author, but it was the 4-Hour Workweek, and he was talking about how if you're stuck on something, or you're not enjoying, you're not getting what you need out of it, stop doing it. You don't need to sit down and finish that article about whatever. If you're not getting what you need out of it, move on. And so I started listening to this new book. The title is Go Un-F Yourself. And they use the full word. I'm going to try and keep swearing down or completely out of these vlogs. But once again, that title is Go Un-F Yourself by Gary John Bishop. And as I started to listen to that, really it just, like I said, flipped a switch on me. So I'm back working on the things I need to be working on. So, and I haven't said this, but one of the things I've learned is being motivated to do something isn't a good way to do things. I'm not motivated to get up and go wash the dishes or do laundry. There's a million other things I'd rather do. And if I wait till I'm motivated to go do something, for instance, record a vlog, work on a project, that half the time I'll never do it. I'll just keep putting it off. I let the laundry pile up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not really motivated to get up and go do my chores. And that's just not a way. I'm not motivated to go to work some days, but I get up, get dressed, and I get my butt to work. And I do my work, even though I'm not necessarily motivated. I'm not feeling oorah. Let's get this done. It's just, I get there, I do what I need to do, and I need to apply those things, that lesson, that concept, to things that aren't actually, that don't have hard deadlines, that don't have immediate consequences. If all the projects that I've talked to you about, if they don't get done, well, you know what? I'll still have a life, As long as I get up, I go to work, I'll get a paycheck. My paycheck is covering my bills. And the other funny thing is that you get up, you go and you do these things, and next thing you know, it's done. Laundry takes time to finish, but okay, loading the washing machine takes 5 minutes max, and that's if that includes sorting the clothes and all other kind of stuff to get a load set up to go. You pile everything in, fill it up with the detergent, set the settings, and then you walk away for however long it's going to take that cycle to finish. And you do whatever else you want or need to do. Then, after the cycle finishes, you throw things into the dryer. You get the dryer going, put in a new load, once again, 5 minutes. And then comes the folding part, which, takes a bit longer. You actually have to be involved in that process a lot more, but it's done. 15, 20 minutes, depending upon what it is. And that part's done. Then you do whatever else you have until it's time to go back and repeat the cycle. Pull out the dry clothes, put in the wet clothes into the dryer, start a new load. And washing the dishes. Yeah, there are certain times where that takes some time, depending upon how caked on the food is or what it is you're having to wash. Some things, quick rub down, they're done. Other things, you have to scrub at a little bit. But the faster you get to the dishes, the less caked on, the less time it takes. Once again, this is something I know. This is something everyone knows. You get it done, it's done. The sooner you take care of a problem, the less of a problem it's going to be in the future. But I have a tendency to put it off. And then I pay for it. And so that is actually going to be one of my focuses this week is don't worry about motivation. Don't worry about how I feel about getting it done. Just do it. And you reap the rewards. And that's one of the things that I'd probably say, kind of like my call to action for everyone who happens to watch this is, one, stop putting stuff up. Stop waiting to be motivated, I don't go to the gym right now, but when I had a gym membership and I was, actually making an effort to go to the gym, I'm really not feeling motivated today. I just don't want to go, The days that I went, I got there, I did my workout. Some days I left more motivated. Other days okay, that's something off the list. And even just putting something off the list makes you feel better. And so, as I I'm going to be going through this week. That's going to be my focus. Or one of my focuses is just don't wait till I'm motivated. Don't wait till I feel like it. Because you know what? I never feel like doing the dishes. I feel like having a clean kitchen, but I never feel like doing the dishes, scrubbing the counters, etc. And so, but I get the rewards of a clean kitchen. And actually, hey, I need a spoon. Oh, here's a spoon. It's clean. It's actually kind of funny is in this book that I'm reading or listening to, he actually addresses that of, how you can put off things. The next thing, as he put it, and I'm paraphrasing here, you're eating your cereal out of a Tupperware using a wooden baking spoon. And you're thinking, oh, hey, new life hack. The guy's actually quite funny if you have that sense of humor. But that it is just so much better if you just wash the dishes. And so that's kind of how things are going for me right now. I haven't worked on my book, and I'm planning on doing that. I need to do that because writing is a skill set. And right now, I'm in first draft phase. I'm a pantser, which basically means I write by the seat of my pants. I don't have extensive outlines or anything like that. And so my first draft kind of becomes my outline where I go back. And if I were to publish what I have right now, even if I were just to finish what I had and publish it right now, it'd be horrible. But I'm learning skills. I am learning the skill of writing, and I'm trying to go through, and I've already kind of gone through with my 900 words going, you know what, this needs to go, this needs to not be emphasized so much, start cutting this out, things of that nature. And so that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my book. I'm going to get more done. Another reason why I've been putting my writing off is I don't like writing on my phone. I'd rather write on a laptop. My laptop died a while ago, long before I even started this vlog. And I've been using that as an excuse. Well, you know what? Pen and paper work. My phone works. Is it ideal? No. Will it get the job done? Yes. I'm saving up for a computer. I don't have one right now. So I have to use what I have. And I need to get better about that. I've always been kind of like right tool for the right job. And it really frustrates me when I'm working on something. I'm thinking, I know that if I had this one tool, whatever project I'm working on would be so much better. It would be so much less work. Things would go better. And I let that frustrate me to no end. And while all of that is true, it would be better if I had the right tool. It would be better if I had a computer to write on. It would be better if I had a larger impact, so when I'm changing tires and stuff like that, I can just use that. But I don't. And while I'm saving up to get the tool, and I can make an inventory of like, you know what? I'm probably going to have to change a tire again. You know what? I want to write. All right. An impact driver, set up for lug nuts would make this so much better. All right, put it on a list of things I need to consider purchasing later on when I have the funds. Hey, a computer would really help me with a lot of things. Excel is great. I can use it on my phone, but it's just not as handy. It's not as easy. It's not as useful. But you know what? I can do it on my phone. So, I'm currently saving up to get myself a new computer. We've already picked one out, and I'm about halfway saved there. But that means I got about halfway more to go. So, that's actually kind of like the main thing that I'm taking away from the last couple of weeks is, 1, don't wait to be motivated. 2, if you're not getting what you need out of it, stop. I used to sit down and read an article, and about halfway through the article, I would be bored in a magazine or online or wherever. And I felt I had to complete the article. I had to finish it. I had to grunt through it, and I wouldn't start something else that might actually lead me towards something where I'd actually be getting the information I was looking for or needed or would be useful, because I'm just sitting there trying to grunt through an article that I'm bored with, I'm not enjoying, I'm not getting anything out of. So, that's another thing. Work with what I have, don't wait on motivation, and if I'm not getting fulfillment out of something, if it's not moving me towards a goal, stop. And you do need to be judicious with that. I was sitting in church today, and honestly, I wasn't getting anything out of it, but the reality is I needed to be there. And so that I did power through. Got through church, and, came up here to Hubble Creek, enjoy some of the scenery, take that reflective time, that recharge time that I talked about, and recorded my vlog. Or I'm recording my vlog. By the time you see it, it'll be recorded, obviously. So, I don't have a whole lot to say right now. I'm still watching videos on ranching, learning about it, doing what I can. I'm going to be making an effort to get into the forge more, and to actually start knocking the rust off those skills and to start developing more skill in that particular domain, building the tooling and stuff I want. And with that, kind of tying that back in, I would love to go out and buy some blacksmithing hammers, some real purpose-built, high-quality blacksmithing hammers. You can get some of those starting at $40, but I'm saving for a computer. You can get some really nice ones for $100 to $200 to $500. Same with tongs. I don't enjoy making tongs. I'd rather buy my tongs. But, you know what? I have a blacksmithing hammer that I bought from Harbor Freight. Is it the best? No. Does it get the job done? Yes. Does it have the peen on it that I usually use, the cross peen? Yes, it does. I've dressed it up on a grinder, and I've made it so it'll work. And so that's what I'm working with. The tongs, I'm using the tongs at Provo Pioneer Village that they provide. Are they great tongs? Most of them are actually horrible. They've been used, abused, made by blacksmiths of varying levels of skill. But, you know what? For the most part, I can find a set of tongs to do what I need to do. And eventually, I will start increasing my tooling. And when it comes to that, I'll either make new tooling or I'll buy new tooling. The nice thing is, with things like Forged in Fire and these other things, blacksmithing has kind of hit a renaissance. Not a renaissance, a rejuvenation. And so it's actually getting easier and easier to find those types of toolings at a decent price. And so I plan to take advantage of that eventually. But I also have limited resources. I'm not filthy rich. If I was filthy rich, I'd have my own forge with all my own tooling, but I'm not. So I'm dealing with what I have. And honestly, working at the Provo Pioneer Village has been a godsend. It has literally been a godsend. First off, I've met someone who's become one of my best friends. And who's also become my mentor in blacksmithing. And right now where I live, I can't forge in my backyard. I can forge there, though. I can't do a lot of things there that I want to do. I can't have a power hammer. Even though certain types of power hammers and trip hammers and have existed since Middle Ages. It's not like that was set up when the pioneers came across the country and came into Utah. They didn't bring a power hammer. Some of them might have eventually set up a water-powered trip hammer or something of the sort, but it's not like that was readily available to every blacksmith. So it's teaching me to, one, be grateful for opportunities like that. And I have learned so much at the Provo Pioneer Village, and I've been able to do blacksmithing where I wouldn't have been able to do blacksmithing before. I think I've told the story, but real short, it's, I wanted to get back into blacksmithing. I had done it a little in, at the time, my fiance's, actually at the time she was my girlfriend, backyard. But that wasn't sustainable. That wasn't something I was going to be able to do regularly. And then we moved, and I wasn't going to be able to do it where I moved because we're renting. And a coke forge can get up to about 3,000 degrees, give or take, depending upon your air, quality of coke, etc., etc., etc. And, most people who are renting don't want you playing around with fire, let alone a forge that gets to 3,000 where you're pulling out red hot metal, or sometimes even white hot metal if you're doing forge welding. And I really wanted to get back into blacksmithing. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, wait a minute, Finn Dyson, you live in Utah. There are historical sites all over the place. Find one that has a blacksmith shop and see if they'll let you go and do that in exchange for some volunteer work. And that's what I did. I found Provo Pioneer Village, went down. It was actually the first day they were open. I met Matt, and he says, yeah, we'll bring you on. And so I've been able to blacksmith because of Provo Pioneer Village. And I have learned so much there. And I am so grateful for it. And I, once again, need to remember, don't let perfection be the enemy of the good. And, if you're always waiting around for perfection, you'll never get anything done. Because nothing's ever perfect. You'll never have all the tools you need, all the tools you want. You drop $1 million on me, tell me I can only spend it on my blacksmith shop, and I will use all of it. I will have a very nice shop, and I will use all $1 million of it, without a problem. But I don't have $1 million to dump on this. I have very limited resources to dump on it. So, I'll do what I can with what I have, and work towards getting the better stuff as I go along, which in turn will help me. It's funny, it's in business, like in blacksmithing, you start off hammer, tongs, an anvil-shaped object, which is the other thing that's really nice about Provo Pioneer Village, is I actually have anvils with horns and bicks and hardies and pritchett holes and all those sorts of things. So, in some ways, I'm actually ahead of the game. I'm not pounding on a railroad spike that I converted. Or a railroad track that I converted. But, I'll do what I can with what I can. And as I continue to work on that, my skill set will get better. And then I'll start being able to make stuff I can sell. And by selling those items, I'll be able to afford some of the tooling that I need, which will allow me to make better things faster, more efficient, which will allow me to make more money, which will allow me to buy more stuff, or to make more stuff, to get the material to make more stuff. So, long story short, and I'm going to keep this fairly quick, do what you can with what you can. If something isn't being beneficial, and if there's not a overriding reason to do it, stop. Do something that's going to give you what you need. Do something that's going to, enhance your life. So, all of that being said, thank you for those of you who watch. Thank you for the comments. I've actually gotten a couple of comments on my last video, which is something kind of new. And yeah, once again, don't wait to be motivated. Just do it. All right, Vin Dyson out.